This guy called these people together because he didn't think he was getting signals. And they were all getting signals. And these people, they were just doing it to support him, but they got into it. I think they got into it. And most people instantly start getting signals when they're doing it in a group. And so did he, which is another thing that I probably should tell you about, okay? Anyway, you should listen to that Cure show. And just, if you're having trouble getting signals, that's one way to do it. Also, at the beginning of every Cure show, you hear the person learn to get signals, or almost every Cure show. So you can very easily you can pick up how to do it that way. Because everybody is different. And when you start hearing when you hear all these different variations and people getting this in different ways, at some point you start to realize, okay, I can, here's the way I get them, and you're going to get them. You're going to start getting them. So, when we do this with groups, this is the way this always goes. So, what I was saying before, about how this person who has the power to end cancer on the planet can go to the next benefit, and there's 100,000 people in the stadium, and at the end of 3 hours, she's going to have 99,947 of them are going to be able to cure cancer and show somebody else how to do it. Because, see, this is the same for everybody. Everybody does it differently, yet everybody gets the same results and, kind of experiences the same effects. Because at bottom, all of us are loving, perceptive, awake, aware, kind, caring, serene, courageous, relaxed, powerful, clear, whatever, And maybe I don't look too serene and powerful and relaxed and clear to you. I'm a little rough around the edges, okay? But you should have seen me. Never mind. No, if you go back to before I discovered this, a lot of people become psychotherapists because they want to cure themselves. That was me. But what I found out was I hated being a psychotherapist. I couldn't stand it. I loved studying it, but I hated actually sitting in front of a patient and watching them not change, And the thing I love about this is that people change, instantly. This is instantaneous results. So you hear them in the Cure show. It's like the person becomes a different person in 20 minutes. You hear this happening in the Cure show. Okay? So, okay, here's how it always goes with a big group, okay? Or a little group, or any group. You can hear it happening in that little group in the, in that show I was telling you about. There's about 7 people in that group. But let's say you invite 100 of your friends who live in your town, and they come to your house, and you tell them, come to my house on Thursday, and you don't tell them nothing. You tell them absolutely nothing, or they won't come. You tell them what you're going to do, they won't come. But you say, don't eat, we're serving food, be there at 6. And, most of them will come around 6:30. Okay, 7:15, the caterers take the food away. And they set chairs up in these little groups. This is very important that you do this in these little groups of 6 or less. They had 7 in their group, which is okay, I guess. 9 might be okay, but the optimal, if you have, let's say you have 9 of your friends come over, don't sit 9 people together. Sit 5 and 4. Or 3 groups of 3 is great, okay? That's great. Small groups of 3 is absolutely great, because then everybody gets a lot of attention on them. But they also have input. And then you share in the big group. Okay, so here's how it goes. This is how it always goes. It's the same way. 100,000 people, 100 people, whatever. Somebody stands up and says, okay, everybody focus on me. I'm going to show you how to cure stuff. 2 people in the back are talking. This person yells at them, hey, you 2, shut up. You focus over here on me. We're going to do this now. Okay? See, none of this interferes. Like, you can scream at these people. You can discipline them, whatever. It doesn't matter. This works, okay? And it will work for them. So, okay. Now say, you agreed when you came here, this is my party, we're going to play my game. So you're going to shut up and you're going to listen, you're going to do this. And you say, okay, now, everybody do this. And you say, I'm now connecting to my ability to cure things, and look for a signal coming through one of your hands, which might be a finger movement. And about, 5 seconds later or something, you say, okay, everybody who got that signal, or any signal at all coming through one of your hands, raise your hand. And, you get this smattering of hands. And as you can imagine, right, most of the people in this 100 people sat there and they didn't even try to do it. They didn't go near it. They were like, what did she say? Are we supposed to be doing something? They're like, gee, why are we doing this? What? I wonder where this is leading. Maybe they should explain this to me, But yet you get this smattering of hands, and then they're surprised. See, they're always surprised that anybody did it, because the reason is everybody thinks everybody is like them. So all the losers think the people, that everybody else is a loser too. And they don't realize that some people actually are playing, So you get this smattering of hands around the room. That they wave their hands up. And then you say, okay, now everybody who feels any different, who got one of those signals, and if you feel a little different, stand up. And what you get is this, like, maybe 5 people stand up out of 100. But maybe 15 stand up too, And then you have them call out what they felt. Invariably, somebody says, I feel like so cooled out, I can't believe it. And somebody else will say, like, I felt like a bolt of electricity going up my spine. And somebody else, some of them get pretty dramatic experiences, And then you say, okay, sit down. Thank you. Now, and you never, ever allow anybody to ask a question. Never. No questions. No questions. This will die if anybody asks a question and you interact with it in any way other than saying no questions. It will die. But the next thing you do is say, okay, now we're going to try it again, and you can change the wording every time you do it. You say, okay, we're now going to say this. Say this to yourself. I'm now connecting to my ability to control my immune system, and look for a signal. Well, this time, 40 people will do it. They'll get signals, or 50 or 60 people will do it, or 70 people will do it on the second round. And you have to go 3 rounds, or maybe even 4, because you just have to get it to the point where it just sweeps the room. And this is what can happen with the world. See, we can end world epidemics simply by having this on television. But we have to have somebody with the power to put it on television to do that. And it can't just be on television once or a little interview or something. It has to be a program that's on television with people with cancer. They're the audience. The audience is the people who are curing their cancer, and their friends and their doctors and their families, and they're all there, and they all get to talk and go through the experience of curing cancer all together in a 13-week series of every day, have 5 days a week anyway, And if people are bombarded like that with something like this, cancer will be a thing of the past on this planet. Like, you probably only have to do 1 season to have that happen. You can actually eradicate cancer on the planet, because anybody can cure their cancer. It's just that not very many people do.